This video will demonstrate basic operation of the scanner and GTS Scan software. To begin scanning, you will need a computer with the GTS Scan program, a scanner, a USB cable for the scanner, and power cables for both the scanner and the computer. Power on the laptop first, and as it is booting up, set up the scanner. There are 3 ports on the right side of the scanner. Connect the square-shaped end of the USB cable to the left port and the power cable to the right port. After you have the computer booted up and have connected the scanner, open GTO Scan. It can be found under the Start menu in Applications in the GTO Tools folder. The most recent release is version 2.0.10. If you do not have the latest version, you will need to download it from GTS. The latest version can be found under the Ops tab, under Documents and Downloads. Before you begin scanning, it is best to check the contrast on the scanner. It is very important to do this because people will actually need to be able to read the information on these cards. In Scan, go to the Edit menu and select Preferences. Generally, white cards need the brightness set at about 71, and colored cards will require a higher brightness setting. We find that the beige cards work well at the default setting. You can preview the setting by putting only the top card of the first stack in the scanner and clicking Preview. It will scan that one card as a test. Be sure to put that card back on top of the stack before you begin scanning the event. The cards should be split into stacks of about 40. If they are not, then they will need to be. Very carefully split large stacks into stacks of roughly 40 cards. Be sure to clearly label the stacks of 40 so that we do not lose the sequence of the cards. To begin, insert the first stack into the scanner loading bay. Adjust the sliders to hold the stack in place. Click the Scan button. It will ask you what you would like to scan. Select either name cards or rehearsal cards. Click Start and it will begin scanning the stack of cards. When the scanner has completed scanning the cards, a new line will appear in the Scan Windows list of history. Highlight it and click the Process button. Enter the 6-digit event ID, which can be found on the reports and should be written on the top of the stack of cards. The school name and event date should appear. Use this to verify that you entered the correct event ID. Depending on how the card collector collected the cards, the address side of the card may not appear in the left window. It is important that the address is on the left side because when the data entry typers type the addresses off the cards, it shows them the left side first. Select the first card. Click the Apply Actions to Remaining button. This will cause whatever you do to the current card to also take effect on all of the following cards. Finally, click the middle button at the bottom. The button looks like the recycle symbol, but with only 2 arrows. This will swap the front of the card with the back of the card. Sometimes the cards will not fit in the scanner right side up and will have to be turned to fit. If this happens after scanning the cards can be rotated. There is no way to mass rotate the cards in the office after the fact, so it is important that you do so before transmitting. The cards can be rotated with the rotate buttons. Be sure to apply the changes to all cards. Once everything is done and you have double-checked the event ID, click Save and Close, then transmit the cards. You will notice that everything you scan stays in the history in GTS Scan. This is handy because if you ever need to retransmit a stack of cards, you do not have to rescan them. Simply click on whatever you want to retransmit and click the Transmit button. Scanning reports is very similar to scanning cards. Place the reports in the scanner loading bay and adjust the sliders to hold the reports in place. Open GTS Scan, click Scan, and select Reports and click Start. The document will scan and the program will take a moment while it searches them for barcodes. If it detects any barcodes, it will auto-populate the event ID. Select the documents you just scanned and click Process. Double check that the event ID is correct, and if it did not auto-populate, enter it. It can be found on the report. Next, select the type of document you just scanned. Make sure to rotate the documents like we did with the cards. Finally, when you are sure that all information you entered is correct, click Save and Close. After you have saved the process reports, select the event you just scanned from the list and click Transfer to send the documents to the office. Every now and then you will probably encounter a jam while scanning. If the scanner jams, there are 2 methods that typically work well to unjam the scanner. The top back panel unsnaps and flips back to release the pressure on the cards or documents. Or, for unusually nasty jams, there is a squeeze and open switch on the front of the scanner toward the left that will allow you to open the entire top of the scanner. Another issue that people regularly run into is duplicate stacks. This happens when you exit the scan program during transfer or forget to change the stack number on a group of cards. If this happens, you must process the stack again and change the stack number. Sometimes you will find that a document or larger cards are printed on cardstock too thick to scan normally. If this happens, there is a switch on the back left corner of the scanner. In the up position, this switch will cause scanned documents to feed straight through and out the back of the scanner. In the down position, this switch will cause the documents to feed up through the scanner and out the top. If a stack of cards is ever dropped or you realize a stack was scanned out of order, please contact Teresa Bell in the Tallahassee office. We can manipulate the stack so that production doesn't run into a problem when they ID the images.